because I'm going to tell you, we're not going to get laws changed, which is the ultimate solution. So we have to get back to where those two holes in your town were undercover and quiet. What Viz was talking about earlier. Those that smashed knew, but they didn't want the whole town knowing. And we need to get back to something like that. But right now, with these 300,000 applicants and 41% of them being all put on Front Street and being having the opportunity to be that loud minority, we're always going to lose. It's always going to be a loss. And Viz, I do want to agree that 300,000 is a lot. You're right.
300,000 is a lot, bro.
Like from the argument that I was making earlier, I just look at it. I was looking at it from the standpoint of when we're talking total population, it's not a lot of people, but that the influence that 300,000 people have is huge. What their reach is long. Just imagine you had one person in a Sexy Red that basically had a generation of kids listening to her music and would rather listen to her music and dance hip hop when they were in a ballet class. That was just one person. 300,000 of those types of people. Mm,
It's a lot of
is a lot of people and a long reach. So we need to be mindful of what we consume. And I know guys are gonna be guys. We're gonna pay for that stuff. But yo, if you know your homeboy's doing it, shit, try to change his mind. If you got a homegirl that's on OnlyFans, try to change her mind. And that's really shit all we got. Otherwise, we're gonna stay down this path. Just
Anyway,
my opinion. Yeah, we can hear
anyway.
you.
No, I
We can
can
hear
hear
you, but we
you.
can't see shit.
Listen. Okay, it's not my fault. We're just gonna
You, but
listen.
but
It's
you
not my
light skinned. We should be able to see you.
hey. Oh, yeah, like you saying, like nowadays, now with the economy how it is, it's just it's like a joke to say you can convince somebody not to do OnlyFans when they're making it. We have no middle class at this point almost basically. So you're either gonna have money, or ain't gonna have money, and the ones who can't make it through the means of using their minds, they're gonna use their body, and you see that in other countries all the time. So, like you said, like it's not unusual. Prostitution in other countries is like, oh, okay, whatever, it's not a big deal. You can be a whole prostitute, have a husband and kids, and nobody bats an eye. Do I think we'll get to that point? Probably not. We're too Christian based here, but on the low, it is kind of like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not unusual to hear those stories where you say, hey, you have side chicks, not even side chicks, landlords asking for sex. Just nobody speaks about it out loud. It's like more of a shame thing, but it's at the end of the day, you know, you can access or purchase activities, and it's not even something people bat an eye about. If it ever does come to a point, I think where it's legalized. I don't know what that would look like. It'd be interesting. I'll tell you that if it was legalized. I know you're making that face, but that also
it
gives
is.
women the option not to do it.
It is. It's
You see what I'm
legalized.
saying?
It's legalized in Las Vegas.
Yeah, but it's only in certain sectors. So that's what I'm saying. You have to drive to it. It's like having the casino in Florida, but you got to drive. I mean, you have to get on the boat and go out so many miles. It's like
Yeah.
that. I'm sorry, I'm like some kind of bug in the car. But yeah, you just gotta be mindful, basically, of that because you'll. Mm-mm, I don't want to be, and I don't know. It'd be kind of interesting. Like you said, the OnlyFans kind of is like the first version of it. I think the first version of actually seeing what it looks like when you can have access to sex and or sexual anything, and then pay for it.
Won't he do it? Where'd she go?
And
While
then
we're waiting, let's hit this super chat. Shout out Shan. That would be me. Oh, he's shooting his
I'm getting
shot.
attacked by a June bug. Hang on.
Thank you, Mills.
Damn.
Shan, somebody shoot they shot at least once a show.
Baby. Make sure you're aiming right. I'm just like, it's a joke.
Damn.
I'm on my way to Atlanta right now. Hey, let me go tell my wife what I'm going to do. Oh Lord.
We ain't gonna be doing nothing. We're gonna be sitting here and read a book together. That's what we're gonna
All
be
right,
doing.
shit, I'm
The
staying right
Bible.
here.
You gotta remember it's the Bible. It's the Bible.
Right.
We gotta read the Bible.
Bye-bye.
Oh man.
Mm. Yeah, I definitely think it'd be interesting. But when you guys were, your topic though, the transactional, I mean, that's interesting because I said the transaction. I think everyone's gonna look at it as a transaction. It's just like, what are you just using as compensation? So
Exactly.
people are like, yeah, I think it's, what, some people are like, oh, well, if you marry me, I get sexual access, I get this or this or this, and then you get, your bills paid or blah blah. So it's like, it's just like, what form of payment are you accepting? Not necessarily is it a transaction. It's a transaction, but what are you getting? It could be love, it could be emotion, it could be a feeling of safety, but it's still a transaction, right?
Yep. It's still a transaction.
And that's
Uh,
okay.
yeah, that's perfectly okay. So me personally, I like to approach things just as simple as it can be. I like to take more simple approach to certain things because regardless of whatever may be the underlying factor or uh, what's want to dig deeper into it. I feel like that matters, but it's almost irrelevant because at the end of the day, it's still transactional. We can go through all of these different phases and conversations of it, but it's still some type of transaction being had. So I think that often when people hear that relationships are transactional, they immediately connect it to something that has to be negative, perceived negatively, or something that's sexual or something of that nature. Is more so just you're a human being, I'm a human being, in relationships. In order for this relationship to be a relationship, we both have to give each other something for it to make sense. Because if not, then you know what I'm saying, there's no relationship. If we're not giving each other something, there's no relationship. You're just a random person at that point. But if you're pouring into that person, be it like you said, time, um, emotion, sharing the space, uh, sex, money, whatever, is still transactional.